Welcome back. In international news, the president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, says her country is on the path of increasing her economic growth from the current level of 8.8% to a double digit within the next couple of years. She said this is possible because the restoration of peace and stability has boosted the confidence of both local and foreign investors in Liberia. Mrs. Johnson Sirleaf said this when she addressed ambassadors of African, Caribbean and Pacific Group ACP in Brussels. Edward Nyako reports.
The economy of Liberia was virtually on its knees, but since 2006, its GDP has increased from $80 million to $672 million. The phenomenal growth is attributed to the determination of Liberians to put the past behind them and forge ahead in unity. This is evident in the restoration of basic services, good governance, peace and security. With this feat, Liberia, which was once described as a failed state, is now making headlines, with her head of state, Mrs. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, receiving one of the highest honors in the world, the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011. But Mrs. Johnson Sirleaf says this could not have been possible without international bodies like the African, Caribbean and Pacific ACP Group. Therefore, it will not be out of place at all to visit the ACP headquarters once she is in Brussels. Mrs. Johnson Sirleaf is a member of 24 eminent group of persons appointed by the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon to come up with a strategy that will help accelerate realization of the MDGs before 2015 and beyond. She said Liberia, just like many African nations, is rich in terms of natural resources, but what is left is its efficient management. The ACP group is made up of 79 countries with a population of 980 million, and its Secretary General is Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chambers. He commended Mrs. Sirleaf Johnson for her role in securing a debt forgiveness package worth over $4.2 billion for Liberia.
ACP countries have particular interest in the MDGs, being poor countries ourselves, most of our member states. We are keen to see that the fight against poverty continues beyond 2015. So this briefing by a member of the panel, the co-chair of the panel, is timely, and we shall continue our own reflections to make an input in the final document that her committee will be submitting to UN Secretary General on what we think the actions need to be taken, the follow-up actions beyond 2015 to keep the issue of fighting poverty on the international agenda.
The ACP group was created by Georgetown Agreement in 1975. The group aims, among other things, at bringing about sustainable development and poverty reduction among member states, as well as their greater integration into the world's economy. Key achievements for the group in 2011 include the first ever symposium on South-South relations between the ACP and India, Brazil and South Africa, which led to a memorandum of understanding signed last December between the ACP Secretariat and Brazil to promote technical cooperation and dialogue. This year, the group will have its 11th Heads of State Summit in Malabo, the capital of Equatorial Guinea. Edward Nyako, reporting for GTV News.
President